Hi everyone, it's Jo and Zoe from In Good Company. Just wanted to hop on today and talk to you about 10 things that you need to know before you train to be a coach. We've been doing a number of introduction to coaching masterclasses recently, so we thought we'd collect some of the questions and do a Q&A for you in here.
Yeah. So I think one of the things you need to know before you train as a coach is that you aren't just coming for coaching training skills. That is obviously something that you get. You do learn how to coach others. But I think one of the bigger things that you actually get from training to be a coach, or equally big, is the self awareness, the personal transformation, and the work that you get to do on yourself. So in our masterclass this week, we were talking about self development and why that's important as a coach. And it's important because in order to help somebody else with their values and their beliefs and their goals and the things that get in their way and obstacles that stop them from achieving, you have to be able to do that for yourself. You need to know what that feels like. You need to go on that personal journey, and know where you are in your journey as well. So I would say that is something to be aware of when you come to train as a coach, that it is likely to invoke thoughts and reflections and possibly decisions that you want to take in your own life as well.
Sounds like about six in that whole
Yeah,
in that
maybe.
that first one. So, yeah, I think maybe number two is it'll be the best investment in yourself that you will ever make. And I can say that from experience wholeheartedly. And when I think about the return on investment, I don't just mean the financial return, but I mean the emotional return. I mean every
Mm.
aspect of value, really. And number three, I think, is that to be aware that you can do it. So, a lot of people, they're super capable, high achievers, and still have that bit of doubt and say, oh, I haven't done it. There's three assignments. How long? Oh, I haven't written anything like that since I did my degree, or maybe never, or years and years ago, depending on how long ago it was since they last did. You absolutely can do it.
Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I I've got a 3B then, because the one I was going to
Okay.
share was that you come with a huge amount of natural skill and talent. You aren't starting from zero when you come to a coaching training program, and I think that that does invoke some anxiety in people when they think about signing up for a course like ours. That
Yeah.
they're coming and they're like starting from scratch and they're doing learning all over again, and actually it's not that at all. I think a coaching training program like ours is about helping you to discover those talents that you do have and learning how to use them in coaching, and of course building on top of them as well. So nobody on our program is a complete beginner. And we actually have people coming on our programs who have years of experience in their career, lots of years of coaching and mentoring others in the workplace, maybe some alternative, like maybe they've done an introduction to NLP or something. They're bringing things into the coaching qualification to build and enhance their skills. So I don't know whether that's 3B or 4. Let's see how many more we've
Well,
got in
let's go
us.
to four. So, and what's popping into my mind is that you will hit your learning edge during this course or during our courses at some point. Often it's within the first 8 weeks, where people feel maybe overwhelmed because they didn't know what they didn't know before they started the course. And as we start to, open up and introduce different things, it's like they can hold these individual things and then those individual things until they're waiting for that point where they begin to integrate it, so then they can actually wrap their arms around it again. So that will happen, and that's a brilliant thing to happen, because ultimately you're coming to train to be a coach because you do want to learn new things.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that creative tension between that pace at which you can learn, and that the information is coming. So you'll hit it and you'll be supported through it and you'll overcome it, and then you'll move on and be supporting others, as they encounter theirs. So it happens at different times for each person. So I think that's something to look forward to and to be aware of. And if you are somebody that values learning and growth, that's probably going to be, you're probably listening thinking, yes, I love those moments.
Number
And
5 is,
Hi.
for me, is for those people who are wondering whether they need a coaching qualification. And
Yep.
I think for those people in that position who are wondering, what value will I get from doing a coaching qualification? I've got lots of experience already. What you need to know is that you're coming not just for the tools and the techniques of which you may have some experience with, you're coming for the whole experience. So to be in the container with Joe and I for like seven and a half, nearly 8 months with your peer learners, it's not so much really about what you learn on the program or how you integrate it and how you stitch these things together. So learning is available in every single professional development experience that we have. And I think for those who are coming, bringing kind of coaching experience, as Joe's just said, you don't know what you don't know. There's a huge amount of depth to the content that we share, but also the way in which we teach it and integrate it and draw out learning from each other. So I think it's more whether the question isn't so much do you need a coaching qualification, because anyone can go and set themselves up as a coach. They don't have to be qualified. I think the question is, do you value the learning experience, and are you invested in being the best coach that you can be and developing your professional expertise, because that is absolutely what you would get from a coaching qualification.
I think it's that, to build on that, is, for me, it's about ethics. Do I want to be an ethical coach? Do I want to be the very best that I can be? Do I want to contribute to the profession? Do I want to help to raise the standards of the profession? If so, then yeah, a qualification is the way to go. So I guess the next one, number 6, is to be aware that there is that difference between a coaching qualification and an accredited coaching course. Not all coaching courses are qualifications. So ours are triple accredited. So it is a qualification through the Institute of Leadership and Management. So it's on the National Qualification Framework. It is also accredited with the professional coaching bodies. So you've got that kind of whole picture of accreditation. So it gives you options as to who you want to accredit yourself with in the future. Number 7 is you will have fun.
Yeah.
It will build your resilience. You will make friends for life. It's a bit like leaving school. My oldest son's just finished primary school this week, and some of those friends he might not see again because they're going off to different schools, but some of those friends he will know for the rest of his life. And some you'll see lots, but you might not meet up with them all the time. And that's what will happen with your coaching qualification, because of the depth of personal information you share with them, the development that you share, the experience of being newbies on the course all the way through to graduating from it. You'll build relationships for life, and what it depends on what life is for you. If life is about relationships and connection, and that's part of what gives you resilience in life, what gives you fulfillment, then it's a good thing to do.
So number 8 for me is there's a chance that you are at risk of making some big decisions. So we've talked a little bit already that coaching kind of raises your awareness, but on this program you have every single week an opportunity to be coached, to observe coaching, to explore your values, your beliefs, your learning preferences, your life history, so much in a really safe and contained environment with a community of peer learners all doing the same thing. So there is an energy and an excitement and a drive about getting the most from your learning experience and using it to really enhance your life. So you need to know that if you're going to sign up, there is a chance that this will be a really exciting period of change for you.
Well, and it was when I did my original coaching qualification that I decided to resign from my full-time HR director role. So we can again speak from experience in that respect. I think you also need to know that all of your learning will not take place in the facilitated, tutor-led sessions. So that's a big part of the course. So with us, it's 2.5 hours every week for 24 weeks if you do the level 7, 20 weeks if you do the level 5 qualification with us. But there's also the triads or the duos that you practice coaching in. You're going to be doing your wider reading about the subjects. You'll be doing your reflection logs. So you're reflecting after the time that we've spent together. So that's how you get good, is from getting good at reflecting. People think they're good at that, but actually there's a lot of depth to really valuable reflections. I think you need to know that the learning takes place in the tutor-led sessions and outside of them too.
Yeah, and you stole my number 10, because I was going to say the way that you get good at coaching is by doing it. So when you're shopping around and looking for a coaching training, and maybe you're put off by the number of hours or the assessment or the involvement of work, because these are, like, you can't hide from the fact that doing a coaching qualification, if you're taking it seriously, is a lot of work. But that's how you get really, really good at coaching. It's through the practice, it's through the reflection, it's through the time that you are observing people. So, be looking for a course where there's a high content of practice and observation and observed practice. So in our qualification, Joe and I are in these sessions with you every single week. We're observing you. You won't get observed every week, but you will get observed regularly throughout the program as we hop around different breakout groups, and we give you personalized feedback to help you to learn and grow, because coaching is such an intimate space where, once you're free to go and coach your own clients, it's only your clients that give you feedback, and they always think you're amazing. So it's hard to get the constructive feedback. So I would encourage you to look for a place where there's supervision and feedback, and that's something that we offer on our programs.
And on that note,
is this a number 11 or?
Well, it's a side note to number 10, which is we've had feedback from people that have been attending our introduction to coaching masterclasses, and this is a number of people, which is why we've been reflecting on it, who say, "Oh my goodness, I've just done a coaching qualification, or I'm just kind of coming towards the end of a coaching qualification. I wish I knew about you before I chose, because actually it hasn't met my needs. It's been very theoretical and not very much practice, so I still don't have the confidence to coach, so I'm looking for something else, or it didn't go into the depth and the breadth of different coaching psychological tools that I thought it would. But then listening to you talk about our qualifications, now I realize that's what I needed." So make sure that you're choosing a course where you know who the tutors are. You're going to get that observed practice, and as we've both been saying, that it has the number of hours, because if you want to become an accredited coach, you'll have to get the hours anyway. So the very first rung on the ladder for accreditation as an individual coach is 50 hours. So you really want to look for a qualification that is 50 plus hours of coaching practice. So on our level 5 qualification, it's 54 hours. On our level 7 qualification, it's 72 hours. So the first rung is 50 hours, and then the next level of accreditation is 100 hours. So there's like 10 plus 2 things that you might need to know or benefit from knowing, or questions that you might want to ask yourself. If you've got other questions about coaching, then come and find us in the Coaching Crowd, our free Facebook group for aspiring coaches. If you're interested in our qualifications, you can visit www.igcompany.co.uk, and you'll see our page on coaching training, which will give you information about our level 3, which is self-guided, and our level 5 and 7, which are those facilitated sessions by Zoe and I as master accredited, award nominated and award-winning coaches. And we love to train coaches, so we would love to support you. We will ensure that you get through the program in a way that is meaningful, so you can be confident to go out and practice as a coach, either internally or as a freelance coach at the end of it, and have the freedom and the reward and the enjoyment that we experience from our coaching careers.
Yeah, look, thanks for listening. We hope to see you in one of our programs soon. Take care.